Well, this is a game. I wish it wasn't so. But before we get started, there's one thing about it that you should know. Well, this is a game. Please remember my words. And don't get upset when you don't get what you think you deserve. Oh.
Hello and welcome back. I know I missed Friday's video, so I'm kind of sorry about that. Stuff came up and I didn't get a chance to record it, and by the time I had time it was far too late for me to want to put it up. So I have skipped that week, but we'll try and keep on track from here on out. So I wanted to talk to you about the next game on my list, which is Paranoia. Paranoia is a dystopian future role-playing game where the nuclear holocaust has happened on the surface and people have gone underground to live in Alpha Complex, which is a large underground vault run by a computer. And it's been thousands of years since we lived on the surface, and the computer has kind of gone mad and crazy with power and thinks that there are enemies all around it trying to destroy it, which in this case is true. The players take the role of troubleshooters, who are basically people hired to fix problems inside Alpha Complex, and they are granted a series of clones that can be used in order to better facilitate their job getting done. They're not clones that you can actively command, but every time you die, one of your clones shows up and picks up from where you left off, and you start out with a pack of 6. Paranoia is a really fun game. One of the jokes about it is that knowing the rules is treason, and everyone sort of has to think on their feet and work very quickly. Usually players have a set of skills that they've decided that they're good at, and skills they've decided that they're bad at. They belong to a secret society, of which there are 20, or less, I'm not exactly sure. And they have a mutant power, of which there are several. Being a mutant is treason, and you have to keep it hidden, or you can register as a mutant, and you will get extra duties and everyone will treat you horribly, but at the very least, you don't really need to hide who you are. The way that the game breaks out is a lot of times there's a mission that the players have been sent on, and they have their mission from the computer, and they have their mission from their secret societies, and it's basically each player has to try to juggle both of their missions, so that way they get both things done, but don't actually get murdered for being treasonous or mutants or anything like that. The game system is really simple. It works on a single 20-sided die, and you try to roll as low as possible. With a 20 being a critical failure and a 1 being a critical success. There's not too much else you have to worry about. A lot of times it's very light, or it can be very dark, depending on how you run it, but mostly it's just fun. You have to balance your characters along with other people they'll encounter, and it's a really good time making up interesting and new technology that may or may not work properly in order to facilitate your game. I picked this setting because I have a lot of stories in it that I wanted to tell, but I wanted to make sure that that people understood what it was before I started talking about it, because the stories aren't quite like other stories about game. They're more nuanced. There's a lot of ridiculousness. There's a lot of problems and a lot of creative solutions. So I wanted to make sure that I explained the system before I actually started telling stories about it so that you wouldn't be confused. Constant paranoia is that it's very hard to come up with a coherent storyline that lasts over several game sessions, as a lot of things are merely go here, fix this problem, go here, fix this problem. So trying to come up with a fully coherent storyline can sometimes be a little difficult, and that causes the game to suffer a little bit. The most successful game of Paranoia I've been in actually took place outside of Alpha Complex. It was much more like a sort of Fallout campaign than anything else, but it worked really well in the system. Um, and that's pretty much it about Paranoia. It's fun, it's quick to make characters. It gets a little silly, but but you have to rein it in sometimes to make sure everyone stays on task. But it's great. And if you are interested in a dystopian future locked in a subterranean vault under the tyrannical hand of a computer god, you're good.